Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Charles, and you're watching Save Our Children TV. Back at it for a brand new video. I know I've been gone for a while. I am back. I just been down for a while. Having issues with recording, but I am back, and I am glad to be back. And hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, share this video, hit my Cash App, where it would be money sign, capital CPA 106. It's down below. Um, Today I have four stories for you guys. The last story, which is the fourth story, have multiple stories attached to it. And so, the first story is going to take us out of Dallas, Texas. So, Dallas, Texas is going to take an L. No.
Doors.
So again, Dallas, Texas takes an L. 7-year-old from Amber Alert is found safe after Dallas kidnapping suspect is wanted, police said. So, this happened today. The child was the subject of an Amber Alert Sunday evening at around 1 a.m. Monday, police said she was found safe, which is a good thing. The Dallas Police Department (DPD) is looking for a suspect that kidnapped a 7-year-old girl Sunday afternoon, making her the subject of an Amber Alert, officials said. Sources told WFAA that the girl and her 9-year-old brother were walking to a store when they were approached by a suspect in an SUV who offered to give them a ride. Police described the driver as a black male in his 30s with short dark hair. Officials described his car as a gray crossover SUV type vehicle with spots of color missing. According to police, the suspect drove the children to a store in the area of West Kiest Boulevard at South Polk Street. Police said the 9-year-old went to the store's door at 12:15 p.m. But when he turned around to go back to the car, the suspect had already driven off with his little sister. Dallas police then got a call at 12:33 p.m. after a witness found the boy in the parking lot, police said. Police have since worked to identify the children and are attempting to identify the driver. They also investigated places near where the kids were picked up and where the suspect drove off with the girl. An Amber Alert was issued for the 7-year-old at 6:45 p.m. on Sunday, which was Sunday evening. It was eventually canceled early Monday morning, which was today, after police said the child was seen at 12:40 a.m. Monday walking up a sidewalk in the apartment complex. She was then identified as the missing girl and taken to a hospital, police said. No vehicle was seen dropping her off in the area, according to police. The FBI and Secret Services are now helping Dallas police identify the suspect and the vehicle used in the kidnapping. Authorities say anyone with information on this case is to call 911 or 214-601-4268. If you see that person, call 911 or call 214-671-4268. Okay. My thought about this particular story. is that, and this is my opinion, who will allow two young children, anyways, to walk to the store alone? Excuse me. Knowing the time that we're living in, where crime is popular now, and the crime rate is so high, you know, you gotta think, was it worth letting these two children walk alone to the store? And obviously, there should have been an adult with these children walking to the store. And, you know, I mean, if we thought a 9-year old was capable of walking a 7-year old to the store, well, you think wrong. Because they're children, and there should have been an adult with these children. And, I'm pretty sure that the police have located the parents of these children and are speaking with detectives back at headquarters, because again, it is kind of suspicious, and it's not usual, for lack of a better term, to allow children to walk to the store alone. So um it was just a bad decision to allow these children to walk alone to the store, you know what I'm saying? And for parents to allow their children to be outside alone without adult supervision, well, after watching this news video, you want to think twice. It's not safe to leave children alone outside, because you have people who like to kidnap children, you have people who like to kill children, you have people who like to sodomize children, lack of a better word. You have people who commit horrible crimes against children. And to allow your children to just be alone walking to a store, I think that was very neglectful. It was very negligent, because you do not know who's lurking. You don't know who's looking for children running around a vehicle. In Dallas, Texas, and Texas is a hot spot for crime. So I think the mistake that the parent made, or the parents made, is allowing their children to walk alone to the store. It was a big mistake. It was. It was a big no, and I'm pretty sure these parents could be charged, because when we allow children to be alone walking to a store without adult supervision or without an adult, then you abandon children. So it could be called child abandonment. You gotta understand that you put your children in danger by allowing them to walk alone to the store, and shame on you. You know what I'm saying? Even if you wasn't aware that they was going to the store, then you should have done a better job at parenting and supervising, because this is not okay. And there's evil among us. We live in what we call evil society. There's just very, very bad and dangerous people on our streets, and you do not want to put yourself in this predicament. And again, shame on these parents, because you should have really thought twice. And what was so important that you couldn't take your children to the store? What was more important than taking your children to the store? Comment down below and tell me what you think was more important than these parents taking their children to the store. Comment that down below. That's by the grace of God, um, the 7-year-old child was found and returned um, to her parents and was transported to the hospital for evaluation. And it could have been a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand this. These parents could have been identifying a body, because they chose to not think twice and not manage and not taking their children to the store rather than letting them go to the store alone, which was not okay. It was wrong. And these parents going to remember this for the rest of their life because this is something that is a lesson to our parents. Send your children, if you're going to send your children to the store, make sure they're with an adult who can supervise. Never let your young children alone and let them go to the store, friend's house, anywhere alone. It should be always adult supervision or chaperone. So, thank you guys so much for this particular video. And we're going to move on to a particular story. I'm sorry. I'm going to move over to story number 2. This story is crazy. Michigan is going to take an L on Detroit News. A child, 18 hours ago, a 2-year-old child, is dead in an accidental shooting in Howell, police say. A 2-year-old in Howell died Sunday evening after an accidental shooting, according to the police department. Officers were called just before 6 p.m. to the 1900 block of Oak Square Lane for a report of a shooting. According to a news release from Howell Police, the 2-year-old had gained access to an unsecured gun and was accidentally shot, according to police. The child was taken to a local hospital and later pronounced dead. No further details were available Sunday night. Okay, this is my thing. How many times am I going to talk about stories about children getting access to guns? And my opinion is when you have a firearm and your negligence to the point where a child picked that gun up and shoots himself or herself and kill themselves with that gun, you can be held accountable. It's called culpable negligent homicide. You gotta understand this is a serious charge where you can face serious prison time if convicted. You gotta understand this. If you're gonna own a firearm, you need to be responsible with the firearm. You see what I'm saying? And clearly that firearm was laid around and loaded and the child picked it up. And in so many cases, we have parents all around the world, a lot of them, just neglectful when it comes to firearm use. And it causes your children, your innocent children, to kill themselves, hurt themselves, injure themselves. And the person who's hurting the most is the victim's entire family. You got the community, Everybody is devastated because this is common. Every other day, a child is being killed by a unsecured weapon, and it's time for adults to do something about it. There's no more standing by, letting stuff happen. If you're gonna get a gun, if you're gonna own a gun, the responsibility of a gun owner is to lock the gun up. And if you can't do that, then don't get yourself a gun. Do not get yourself a gun if you can't take responsibility when having a gun. Point blank period. Condolences to this 2-year-old child and to the family. This is, I know it's devastating. And we got to do better when it comes to our children and firearms. We really do. Let's move on. At this time, this is going to story number 3 out of 4. But due to this particular story, I'm gonna ask you, if you do have children at this time, to get your children out of the room. This is for adults right here. A teenage This story happened a month ago, and a 16-year-old girl dies after taking part in TikTok's viral scarf game challenge. And this happened in France. So France is going to take an L. Matter of fact, yes, France taking an L. A 16-year-old girl in France died last month attempting the viral scarf game. It's a variation of the TikTok's deadly blackout challenge that has claimed several lives over the last year. Christy Sabali Dominic Glory Cassell, who grew up in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, was really at home when she tried the daily stunt. She died May 27th. James Press reports. The dangerous pursuit involves fastening cloth around the neck to asphyxiate oneself until passing out for alleged internet clout. Unfortunately, as with the blackout challenge, the exploit can restrict the oxygen flow to the brain, causing seizures, serious injury, and even death. Gazelle was interred June 7 at the Fleury les Aubers Cemetery near her home in Orleans, France. Gazelle's death continued a pattern spurred by choking challenges which have become popular on Chinese-owned TikTok. A TikTok search for scarf game by the post on Friday, however, yielded a message of no results found. This phase may be associated with behavior or content that violates our guidelines. Promoting a safe and positive experience is TikTok's top priority. For more information, we urge you to review our community guidelines. The post reached out to TikTok rep for comment. This is the 16-year-old who was tragically killed by the TikTok challenge. It's called the scarf challenge. It's like the blackout challenge. When she decided to wrap a cloth around her neck for a TikTok challenge. She was 16 years old. France. You know, I think uh, the sad thing is that this challenge is causing our children their lives. And the fact that there's no outrage whatsoever. Where are the community leaders? And what I mean by that is that the community leaders should definitely be outraged because we're seeing our children lose their lives in this challenge. And in my opinion, these community leaders, and I'm talking about all 50 states, the countries, need to start knocking on doors and offering our children resources to get away from this pathetic challenge and bring these children away from this TikTok crap and help these children know their purpose on earth. And the sad thing is that TikTok is making excuses for these type of challenges. It's on your platform. And as long as these challenges are on your platform, these children are going to recreate these challenges for views, clout, likes, all of that. So it's TikTok job to block these challenges, parent controls on these challenges. And in my opinion, I don't think children should have TikTok because it's now become dangerous. And we are losing our children to viral challenges of fame. And I think that it's time to sit down with your children and talk to your children about these challenges and how that it can destroy them, it can hurt them, it can kill them, they can be injured, paralyzed, any of that. So many children are unsupervised on TikTok dancing to provocative music, wearing provocative clothes, doing crazy, dangerous challenges. And so it is TikTok job to ban children from their platform. That is how we're going to keep our children safe. And as long as we allow our children access to this garbage, then we're going to continue seeing our beautiful, innocent children lose their lives. And it's unfair. And I think TikTok is ruining our children's lives. Believe it or not, it's ruining their lives. And so it's up to us to steer them away from destruction because it's no good. And TikTok has become a danger to our children. It is dangerous for your children to have tic-tac. And if you are a parent who allow your children to have tic-tac unsupervised, then I look at you as a bad parent because children should not be having tic-tac. There's no ifs, buts about it. Nothing good is on TikTok. It has become dangerous, and the devil is working. Please talk to your children about these challenges. It is dangerous, very dangerous. We're going to move on to story 3 out of 4. Nope, story 4 out of 4. Syracuse, New York is going to take an air. I'm on CNN.com 9 hours ago. At least 13 people were shot, stabbed, or hit by cars in a large Syracuse gathering. At least 13 people were shot, stabbed, or hit by cars when chaos broke out among hundreds of people gathering in Syracuse, New York, early Sunday morning, according to police. 4 people were shot and injured. 5 suffered lacerations, and 4 were hit by cars. Syracuse Police Lieutenant Matthew Malinowski said in the news release, all are expected to survive. Police responded to a report of shots fired around 12:22 a.m. and found hundreds of people gathered near the intersection of Davis Street and Messina Street, Malinowski said. Officers entered the crowd and discovered several victims were either shot, stabbed, or struck by vehicles fleeing the scene after the shots were fired, Malinowski said. Police did not say whether arrests were made of any suspects. Police did not say whether arrests were made if any suspects have been identified. The investigation is very active and ongoing, Malinowski said. So this happened at a black party. You know, nowadays you can't go to any party because you just don't know who will pull out a gun, who will act crazy, and then you end up in a crossfire or you end up in the middle of a dangerous altercation. And I think that it's sad that this is the new norm and that we gotta witness people, innocent people being killed. And it's sad how that you can't even enjoy yourself no more at black parties or graduation parties or any function in a community because you have one person or multiple people ruining the fun. And I think that, you know, something's clearly wrong. And we got to do more in our community. And that's with talking to our children, get these teens who are dangerous off the streets, set our teens down, talk to our teens who are out of control, running our streets, because you can enter an adult institution for life if you continue on the path that you are on. Just that simple. We gotta talk to our children. They're running their lives. They don't even know it. Somebody injured. 13 people shot. 13 people at least. They were either shot, stabbed, or hit by cars at a black party. Sad. Keep those injured in thoughts and prayers. And whoever responsible, please turn yourself in. You'll do yourself justice, you do your community justice by turning yourself in. Now, speaking of 13 people shot hit by vehicles in Syracuse, New York Black Party, we're going to talk about the recent mass shootings also, because there have been a lot of mass shootings. Teenager who's killed Teenager who was killed in an Antioch birthday party shooting is identified an hour ago. Nadia Toredo, who's 18, was shot when she was at a birthday party filled with young adults. Witnesses at the scene told police that shots rang out after some uninvited guests arrived at the party. 7 people were shot, including Toredo. The shooting caused a panic and the crowd dispersed out into the neighborhood for cover. Toredo's family writes that she suffered a gunshot wound to her lower abdomen. She was later declared dead at a local hospital. The suspects in the shooting then got into a car and fled the scene. The Anatolian Police Department is still interviewing witnesses and searching for the persons involved. Okay. Number one, California takes it now. It happened in California. 2, why would you shoot up? Why would you be shooting up a birthday party? What would be the purpose of shooting up a birthday party? I just don't get it. I'm confused because it's like anywhere you go nowadays to have fun can turn dangerous. And the fact that someone lost their life who was only 18 years of age. You know, when you kill a person, you limit everything that person could have been. Person could have been married with children, walked down an aisle, had could have went to college, had a nice job, could be actor, actress, singer, anything, and ruin that by being a coward. And multiple people are involved. And the sad part is, if you're bold enough to commit the crime, why would you then jump in the vehicle and spit away when the police come? But you could commit the crime. It makes no sense. Logically, it makes no sense, and we need to put the guns down. And as long as gun laws are not being signed, you might as well forget it. We're going to continue seeing mass shootings. So it's up to us to vote and to go to legislation, the president, the White House. It is time to vote. It's time to get the guns off the streets because it is not gun violence, it is thug violence. It is the thugs who are committing the crimes with the guns. And there are people who should not be having guns, who are carrying guns, killing our children, and then run from the police. That makes no sense to me. That is stupid. And earlier today, I was watching the news. I think it was a news video. Where the dude said that He's going to pack up him and his mother and move away from the area. I wouldn't feel comfortable living in any part of California. I wouldn't. Any part of California is dangerous. And I'm going to tell you why. Each and every day I look on the news, there's always a car chase. One. Two, it's either a shooting, you have people driving recklessly. It's just dangerous. This is somewhere that I just couldn't see myself living. California is a dangerous place, believe it or not. So let's talk about other shootings that happen. Another mass shooting is is in Annapolis, which is in Indiana. So Indiana takes it now. A mass shooting that killed 3 men and injured 3 others. Annapolis, Maryland, I think. Court documents indicate an argument over the parking ensued before Sunday mass shooting that left 3 men dead. Annapolis Police Chief Edward Jackson said officers were called around 7:50 p.m. Sunday to a house on the 1000 block of Paddington Place in Annapolis, where 6 people were shot.
I want my laptop back when you're done.
Jackson said first responders arrived and found 3 men who died at the scene. The chief identified the deceased as Nicholas Merles, 55, of Oedenton, his son Mario Antonio Morales Rose, who was 27, of Annapolis, and Christian Malone Sajoria, 25, of Severn. Two others were flown to hospitals, and one was taken by ambulance. The 3 severe victims were in stable condition. Monday, according to police, the 3 wounded victims suffered gunshot wounds to the ankle, another to the arm, and third was shot twice, once in the arm and back. Another mass shooting is in our country, and this time happened here in our state. Governor Westmore said, "We know that 3 other victims have passed away, and we know that we're fighting for their lives as we speak, and I pray for God's healing mercy on them." The chief said the person taken into custody Sunday night is the suspect who fired shots. Jackson on Monday identified the suspect as Charles Robert Smith, who is 43, of Annapolis. Police charged Smith with 3 counts of second-degree murder, 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder, 3 counts of first-degree assault, and gun violation. Smith remains held without bond at the Jennifer Road Detention Center. The chief said this was not a random act of violence and that the suspect surrendered peacefully. According to police charging documents obtained by 11 News, Smith was at the front door of the house with his hands up. According to the charging document, Smith told officers that he shot the people because they shot his house. Jackson said at Monday's news conference that it was unknown whether anyone else fired shots. The charging documents state Mario Morales was hosting a large party, and based on witness interviews, he went into a neighborhood house to talk about a parking dispute. The documents state that Smith's mother called the city to say a vehicle was parked blocking the driveway. The charging document states that an argument ensued and that Smith arrived pulling out a gun and shot Mario Morales and Segovia. The charging document states Smith then stood over Mario Morales and shot him several more times. When others from the party came outside, Smith went inside the house, retrieved a rifle, and fired shots outside a window, hitting and killing Nicholas Morales, the charging documents state. Jackson said officers recovered a long handgun and semi-automatic handgun. The charging documents state that the officers recovered a large amount of ballistic evidence that includes gun casings. The governor pledged the support of his office as the investigation continues. You have my full support. You have my office full support, and the entire Indianapolis community has our full support in this dark hour. More said for all Marylanders, I know that many people might be feeling numb right now, numb to the violence that we see in the streets and across the country, numb to news stories about more lives being cut short. But we cannot allow the numbness to take hold. We have refused to apathetic in the face of horror. I first spoke to continuing gun violence across the country. I want to say this. You have a dispute with neighbors. So you go across the street to where the party's located and shoot somebody, kill somebody instantly, and then kill two others, injure three others. Again, bullets don't have name on it, and an innocent child could have caught a fit around. You know, because when you shoot and that bullet flies off that gun, it can hit anybody. Bullets don't have a name on it. And I think the sad part is that people get so mad that they will do anything to protect themselves. And that means that they will pull out a gun and cause damage. And I think it's sad that you chose to do this at a party. It's shame on you for shame on you for even shooting at a party. You ruined someone's birthday party over a dispute. I think it's crazy and selfish. 2 days ago, 9 people have been wounded in a mass shooting in San Francisco's Mission District. San Francisco takes an L. 9 people were wounded in a mass shooting in San Francisco's Mission District on Friday night, and what police said appeared to be a targeted and isolated incident. The San Francisco Chronicle reported that the shooting happened shortly after 9 p.m. during a party hosted by a clothing store near the intersection of 24th Street and Treat Avenue. The San Francisco Police Department initially said that all of the victims were expected to survive the injuries, but a statement from the Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital said one of the victims remained in critical condition as of Saturday afternoon. And another was said to be in serious condition, 4 were in frail condition, and 3 had already been discharged. The victims were 8 men and 1 woman, ranging in age from 20 to 34, the hospital said. Police Chief William Scott called the violence unacceptable. People should feel safe to go out in San Francisco without fear of being victims of gun violence. Scott said that investigators are working diligently on this case and will have a visible police presence moving forward in the community with this accord. Now, I want to say this. I don't understand why people do mass shootings. And again, you're not just ruining your life, but you're ruining the victim's life. Dude, those families are devastated because you shot at their loved ones, which you could have killed. And it's called selfishness because you're not thinking about the, you're not thinking about community safety. Again, bullets don't have names on it, so that round could have hit anybody, an elderly person, a child, anybody. And for what? You see what I'm saying? We got to do more in the community. We have to do more. The 2 killed in a mass shooting after Virginia high school graduation. This is crazy. An 18-year-old graduate, Sean Jackson, and his 36-year-old stepfather, Renzo Smith, were killed in a shooting after a high school commencement ceremony in Richmond, Virginia. So Virginia takes an Tuesday evening that left 5 others injured, police said Wednesday. A suspect, 19-year-old Amari Pollard was arraigned Wednesday morning on two counts of second-degree murder and is being held without bail. Interim Police Chief Rick Evers said at a news conference, Pollard had an ongoing dispute with the 18-year victim and was a targeted attack. Edwards said further charges are pending, he added. He has not yet hired an attorney and is due back in court June 21st, according to Commonwealth's attorney Colette McKinnon. A 9-year-old girl who was struck and injured by a car in the crash that followed the shooting is also related to the family of the two people who were killed. She is currently recovering from very minor injuries. Edwards said the remaining victims are all in non-life-threatening conditions. He said the gunman opened a fire in Monroe Park, where hundreds of graduates and guests has gathered across the street from Ultra Theater, where Huguenot High School held the ceremony. Okay. I did not know Sean, but I shook his hand and wished him congratulations about 20 minutes before he died. Jason Camaras, the superintendent of Richmond Public Schools, said Wednesday I cannot shake the image of him receiving CPR on the ground during his graduation gown. The shooting is one of the least 279 mass shootings in the United States so far this year. According to the Gun Violence Archive, which defines a mass shooting as one in which at least 4 people are shot, excluding the shooter. I want to say this. Number one, why would you be shooting at a graduation because you have a beef with the person? Look, he was graduating from high school. His stepfather was there to support him. His 9-year-old cousin was also there. And you shoot her too? I mean, that's cowardness. You shot a child who's related to the victim, shot the victim and his stepfather. And I believe he shot the 9-year-old intentionally because she was related to the victim. That's crazy. And ruined that graduation. Can you imagine being at graduation with your child, knowing that's the last time you may see your child because there's a person who don't have sense enough to let a beef go and use deadly repercussions? We gotta do better. We gotta do better. It is time for us to do better because we are failing. We are failing. In addition, 5 others were shot. I want to talk about a story that happened yesterday, I believe. But I believe it's updated. So, a firefighter, an FDNY firefighter from New York City, He was a firefighter and he was an EMT. He drowned after trying to save his daughter in Riptide. He would have gave his life for anyone. Neighbors in the Brooklyn community are shocked over the death of firefighter Mark Batista, an off-duty New York City firefighter who drowned trying to rescue his daughter from a riptide dedicated his life to saving others. His staff friends and neighbors told the Daily News on Sunday. The FDNY's Mark Batista lost his life jumping in the ocean to save his teenage daughter Friday morning at Avon by the Sea, a New Jersey beach town south of Asbury Park. First responders called to the scene, pulled the struggling girl from the water, and she was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. The body of 39-year-old Batista was found more than an hour later by a Coast Guard helicopter about 50 feet from shore, according to New Jersey 101.5.com, which reported that the girl is 15 years old. He gave his life saving his daughter, said Leo Sanchez, the neighbor on Statisia Street in Teaneck, New Jersey. He would give his life for anyone. He saved lives for a living, Sanchez said. Being a fireman was his passion. At Batista's home, a uniformed fireman answered the door Sunday, said the family did not want to speak to anyone. His wife is distraught. She keeps saying what I'm going to do without him. Why didn't I go to the beach with them? Sanchez said, she said, I wanted to wake up from this dream. His little daughter is in shock. She kept asking when his daddy wanted to open his eyes. He added, this is shocking for all of us in the neighborhood. The father of three was a 15-year veteran of the FDNY firefighter. He was a member of Engine 226 on State Street in Burnham Hill, Brooklyn, and preservedly served as an EMT. Batista's oldest son was home on a 10-day leave from the U.S. Army, neighbors said. Oman al-Muntazer, who owns a deli a block away from Batista's firehouse, described the firefighter as just a great person who naturally would jump in rough surf to try and rescue his daughter. He dedicated his every single day to this and his knowledge, and he's known for that, the deli owner said. He added that Batista firefighters all would echo the same sentiment about their fallen colleague. I know all of them there. I grew up here. He said, I'm very close to them. They are amazing people. No lifeguards were on duty Friday morning in Avon. Local police said NJ101.5.com that Batista's daughter was swimming around 8:35 a.m. when the tragedy occurred. A huge response report of the father and daughter in distress coming from rescue swimmers, divers, boats, jet skis, emergency medical services, police and drone operators from local communities, the state police, and the Coast Guard. The area network of shorewater emergency responders told NJ101.5.com the new work provides better rescue to Avon and nearby locals network. The Monmouth County Sheriff's Office issued a warning after Batista's drowning, cautioning everyone not to go in the water if no lifeguards are present. Lifeguards are on duty daily starting next Saturday, according to the Avon by the Sea website. And this is the father, firefighter, and EMT who lost his life saving his daughter. Let's have a moment of silence to remember fallen FDY firefighter. That is the end of our story. Keep that family in thoughts and prayers. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and post notifications on. Hit that red subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you won't miss another upload on YouTube. Do me a favor, comment down below, share this video, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye bye.